Hello, I'm the VIIc modeler and this is the first episode of my new build, as you can see from the new intro. This is a bit different as it's a legacy build, which is kindly supported by Salisbury Model Centre, cheers Clive, and very well done mate, and Models for Heroes. I'll talk about it in a bit more depth a little bit later in the video. The legacy build is, as you can see from the picture, the Trumpeter 148th DKM Type 7C U-boat. Yeah, it's a bit large, about 1.4 metres long. Anywho, if you're watching this, then please subscribe to my channel, give the video a like and ring my bell. That would be brill. Thank you. So let's start as we mean to go on with a cock up. Anyway, I can't believe I forgot to press start on the camera for the torpedoes. Bloody typical. Anywho, let's have a quick look at the destructions and what we're going to be doing in the first couple of episodes. The front torpedo tube compartment. As you know, I've already done the torpedoes, but I'll just leave this here and let you see what goes on, and I'll come back in a minute. Anyway, what we're going to do now is going to crack on and get the beds made with the toilets. So, without further ado, let's crank up the speedy uppy thing and crack on. There we have the bunks and the toilets glued in place. Now for the roof. We'll take it off the sprue, clean it up and then glue all the parts in place. So here we go with that. Okay, so what is a legacy build? It's where Models for Heroes has had a donation from a modeller's family who has sadly passed away. It's a double-edged sword. It's great that we get the donation, but it's very sad that someone had to pass away for Models for Heroes to get this donation. And the person's wife wanted somebody to build it, and Malcolm and I had a discussion and we decided that I would build it on here. This is so Gunther's wife Cornelia can watch the whole building process. About this legacy build, here are a few words about Gunther from his wife Cornelia. Born by the River Moselle in Germany, Gunther had lived in the Frankfurt region for many years until he moved to the UK in 2016 because of a new job. He'd been fascinated with everything connected to aeroplanes since he was given a toy plane as a little boy, and collected everything over the years: books, models, magazines, photographs. His main interests were military planes, which eventually led to an additional interest in tanks, warships and submarines. He bought this particular model when we visited my parents in Germany, who live close to a big manufacturer of model kits. Their outlet shop was heaven for Gunther. One of his plans was to become a volunteer at the De Havilland Museum after the lockdown, but he passed away suddenly and unexpectedly in July 2021. There we have the roof all done. Looking good so far. Now for the floor. We'll snip it off the sprue, clean it off, then glue the parts to it. So let's get the floor sorted, shall we? That's the floor sorted out. We'll pop that to one side. Now we have the torpedo tubes. These have to be built in a specific way and a specific order. Otherwise they don't fit properly. Get me? Following instructions. So let's get these cracked, shall we? There we go. That's that's easy for you to say. That's a torpedo tube done. Let's check out how well the torpedoes fit. Yeah, that's not stop it at the back. Anywho, quickly moving on. Let's get to cleaning up the two torpedoes while those torpedo tubes dry. Whoa, how many torpedoes and tubes? There we go, that's one torpedo cleaned up. To give you an idea of how long the whole lot took, in speedy uppy time, to do one is 1 minute. This is just a cleanup. In real time, that's 15 minutes. Multiply that by 12 and you have 3 hours work just cleaning them up. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch that. Anywho, let's carry on with the torpedo tube assembly. Here we go. There we have our torpedo tube glued and seam bashed. Now it's time to build it up. So let's crack on and get it built. There we have tube A built. That was a right royal pain to do. Check the instructions, position, test, panic, test, then finally glue and panic again. This happened 4 times as there's 4 torpedo tubes at the front, but I'm not going to put you through the other 3. Anyway, when you make them, they are marked up as A, B, C and D. Remember to mark them up because they go in a specific order. That is what we've done. And here we have the completed torpedo tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we have the torpedoes we did from earlier that I forgot to film. Yes, I know, numpty. There are 12 of them, and no, I'm not going to count them down. Now we're going to do some air tanks. These, I believe, are the tanks for the compressed air for firing the torpedoes. If you know different, please let me know in the comments below. So let's crack on, get them made. That's the air tanks complete. We'll pop them over there to dry. Next up is the forward bulkhead in the torpedo room. This is where the torpedo tubes fit into, in the specific order I spoke about earlier. We also need to be very aware of how accurately we have placed the parts on this, because they can interfere if you're not careful. So let's get this done, shall we? That's the front bulkhead cleaned up, ready. Next we're going to clean up those air tanks we did earlier. There we go with that. I've only shown one done as they are much of a muchness. Now for the rear bulkhead of the room. We'll be removing it from the sprue, cleaning it up, then adding the details like ventilation boxes, hand wheels, etc, etc. So let's get cracking with that, shall we? There we have the rear bulkhead done. What I've been doing is I've been cutting out a lot of unnecessary footage, that's easy for you to say, where absolutely nothing has gone wrong, and you've seen this cleaning up, adding parts, gluing parts before, so it just cuts down on the length of the video. Next up, the torpedo room floor, cutting from the sprue, cleaning up and parts added to it. So let's get it cracked, shall we? There we have the underside part of the floor sorted. If you're a pinger, and you'll know what a pinger is, then please let me know what this part is called. Ooh, looks like we've got a ghosty in the shed. Or was it just not stuck well enough? Anywho, moving on. We're sorting out the top torpedo carrier here, which helps to load the torpedoes into the tubes. So, let's crack on. That's the torpedo carrier done. Now to do the large compressed air canister. So here we go with that. There are two of these canisters, both are built the same, sanded the same, so there's no need to bore you with that bit. If you want to see how it's done, just go back and have a look at the torpedo tubes, it's exactly the same. So here endeth the build process for the front torpedo tube room. I know it's been a bit longer, and it's also taken me several days to edit this, but I'm trying to put a video out for each section. So for the front torpedo room, I've done the build. The next one will be for the painting, and the next one will be for the weathering and assembly. Anywho, thank you to Cornelia for this donation, amazing. And to Salisbury Model Centre and Models for Heroes for the support and assistance with the build. And thank you to you for watching episode 1 of my new Trumpeter 148th DKM U-Boat Type 7C. Phew, that's a bit of a mouthful. Anyway, if you want to see what happens in episode 2, please subscribe to my channel, help it grow, like the video, leave a comment and ring my bell. Remember folks, stay safe, keep on modelling.